But now we know that in the broad and vague use of the sense, there are head of states asking for forgiveness for their own country to another country. For instance, the Prime Minister of Japan asked for forgiveness in a certain way in his own language to Koreans or so on and so forth. And we have a number of examples today. For the last 10 years, there has been a number of instances of an institution or the head of an institution or the head of state asking for forgiveness to a people, to a nation, or to another state, which is to me a corruption of the concept of pure forgiveness. Pure forgiveness should be granted and given by some singular, irreplaceable person to some singular, irreplaceable person. And then the question is even more complex, because do we forgive someone for having done something? Or do we forgive something which has been done by someone, some action? Do we forgive? If you kill someone, will I, some of my friends, will I forgive you for that? Or will I forgive your crime and leave you aside? Because you may be now different, you may repent, you may do something else than this specific action. So the question of the who and what is crucial here. Do we forgive someone or some action or something? That I tried in the seminar to distinguish, and it's a very difficult distinction, practically impossible, between what I would call the pure and unconditional forgiveness, which implies that you forgive, one forgives, even if the guilty one, the other one, doesn't ask for forgiveness, doesn't repent, doesn't confess. So there is should be no exchange. Usually we think that the commonsensical concept of forgiveness, we think, and that's one of the major traditions in Judaism, in Christianity, and Islam, that we can forgive only under certain conditions, that the other at least repents or changes or asks for forgiveness. Why should I forgive someone who doesn't ask for forgiveness? These I would call conditional forgiveness, impure forgiveness. The pure forgiveness, and this is not totally absent in the let's say Abrahamic tradition, the three traditions. Not really absent, the idea of grace, which is given even if the other, if it is not asked for. But it's not a prevailing in this tradition. There are two conflicting interpretations of forgiveness in these Abrahamic traditions. One is the conditional one, which prevails. One has to ask for forgiveness, one has to repent, one has to change, and even to promise not to start again, and so on and so on. And then God or man, that's another problem, forgives. And there is another hidden tradition which is less clear and less clearly represented, what I call unconditional forgiveness, in which I would make the impossible. We forgive even the one who doesn't ask for forgiveness, even the one who doesn't repent, who doesn't confess. And I call this impossible, and at the same time the only forgiveness worthy of the name. Because if I forgive because I can forgive, because the other is now different from what he was or she was at the time of the crime, or if I forgive because he repents or he asks for forgiveness, so there is an exchange. He asks and I give, there is an exchange. If I forgive because I have the power to forgive, the force, the sovereignty, because this is a sovereign act. I forgive you. I forgive from I to below. If I forgive because I can't forgive, I don't forgive. If I do what I can do, I don't do. That's, of course, paradoxical and aporetic. But if it's possible for me to forgive, if the guilt of man is forgivable, I don't forgive. So I have to forgive the unforgivable. This is the only thing I can forgive, strictly speaking. The unforgivable. If I forgive what is forgivable, I don't forgive. If I forgive because I have the ability, the force, the sovereignty to forgive, if I'm able to do that, if I can do that, I don't do this. And this is a logic, a terrible logic, because it means that if I do what I can, I don't do anything. So I must, if I take the responsibility I can take, I don't take any responsibility. If I make the decision I can make, I don't make a decision. So in order to make a decision, to take a responsibility, to forgive, to give, of course, to give also, first of all, to give, I must do what I cannot do. I must do more than what I can do, or something else. So, which means that it's not me, it's not myself who does this. It's the other in me. It's someone stronger than me. My decision is the other's decision in that case. The other's decision, which doesn't exonerate me from responsibility, but it's the other's decision in me. It's the other who forgives in this unconditional sense.